please ask the captains for each team to proceed to center field for the coin toss. Officials for today's game are referee Matt Urbanovich, umpire Patrick Mullins, down judge James Goldstone, line judge Terry Owen, back judge Nick Hayhow, side judge Larry Leduc, and field judge Kyle Miller. Prior to the playing of O-Canada, we'd like to acknowledge that this event is taking place on Treaty 6 land, home of the Cree, Blackfoot, Dene, Métis, and many other proud Indigenous people whose presence continues to enrich our society. At this time, we ask you to please rise as we play our national anthem.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside Foote Field as we continue the Football Canada Cup 2023 edition. This is semi-final number one. We've got the top-seeded team from Saskatchewan taking on Ontario, the number 4 seed. Football Canada Cup is a presentation of Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live. My name is Grayson Knutson. So glad you could join us. Pleased to be joined in the broadcast booth by Chad Hill. He's the head coach of Sturgeon Composite here in the greater Edmonton area. And Chad, this one is going to be very entertaining, I think, between two pretty good teams who came off victories in their quarterfinal matchups.
Yeah, I thought both teams looked really strong in the quarterfinals, and we are in for a heck of an afternoon of football here at Foote Field. We got the defending champion, Saskatchewan, and to be the man, you got to beat the man, and that's what Ontario plans to do here this afternoon.
Ontario won the coin toss. They deferred and took the side that they will go into the wind here for the first quarter. Saskatchewan will receive. Not a bad day here in Edmonton. 25 degrees Celsius at kickoff. Feels like 29. Wind out of the west-northwest at about 18 kilometers an hour, gusting a little bit at times. Threat of rain is looming a little bit later on this evening. We'll see if that comes into play here a little bit later. Saskatchewan with a victory over New Brunswick in their quarterfinal, while Ontario managed to get by British Columbia. Neither defense gave up any points, so this will be interesting as the two offenses look pretty good. Saskatchewan scored 39, Ontario put up 22 points in their victory.
Yeah, both fairly decisive wins, I would say, in the quarterfinals. So we really do have the top 4 teams here left to play, and this should be a great one. One other bit of note, we got a couple of good kickers too, and special teams can make a big difference. Both the offenses and the defenses are very strong, but these special teams are second to none as well.
Oscar Shimlinski is the kicker for Ontario, and he is ready to kick things off. Just waiting for the official word from our referee. His whistle's blown. There's the kickoff, and we are underway here, semifinal number 1 in this 2023 Football Canada Cup. Taken back by Saskatchewan, number 87 is Tyrell Moore, and he brings it up to about the 30-yard line, and that's where Saskatchewan will begin this game from.
Yeah, I thought Moore had a strong game returning the football in the quarterfinal. He's a 205-pound kick returner. There's a lot of guys that are going to think twice running down the field before making contact with that solid return man.
So Saskatchewan set to scrimmage here. Their starting quarterback is Carter Casey. Casey out of St. Joseph in Saskatoon. Same with his teammate Moore. And they're going to hand the ball off here on the first play. Trying to get around the edge, but not finding a lot of success there is number 28 for Saskatchewan, Jared Festus Julian.
Yeah, I thought Ontario strung that out pretty well. Contact made right around the line of scrimmage, and credit to the running back for keeping his legs pumping to get positive, almost 4 yards off that. It could have been stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
They gave him 3, so it's 2nd and 7 here for Casey and Saskatchewan. Pardon me, Javen Boynton, number 28, was the running back. Is that one thrown up the middle? Almost intercepted. Zach Payne. He read that, jumped the route, knocked it down. Ontario will send out the receiving team. It's a 2-and-out for Saskatchewan here to begin this game.
Heck of a break on the ball by the defensive back for Team Ontario. And if he would have caught that one, he might still be running. It'd be a celebration in the end zone right now. Love the break on the football. And if you're the receiver for Saskatchewan, you want to work yourself back to that football, outstretch those hands, come back to it, but you got to give the defense credit on that play.
Casey, not only the quarterback, but the punter as well for Team Saskatchewan. This one bobbled a little bit by the Ontario receiver. Number 2 is Chase Smith, and he just decides to do the smart thing and fall on it. It's still pretty good field position for Team Ontario as they start from their own 44-yard line.
And I think Saskatchewan was fortunate to avoid a penalty for no yards right there. It was definitely very close. We've seen a few of those in the tournament where, maybe we're just accustomed to how games are called here in Alberta with the high school, but there's definitely been a few plays where that 5-yard halo is looking pretty close to being violated.
Ben Castleman, the starting quarterback here for Ontario, and he hands it off on the first play. And not a lot of room there either. So both defenses on first down making an impact, stopping the run game, and I'm not sure he even got back to the line of scrimmage. It's maybe a loss of about half a yard here.
This Saskatchewan front is aggressive, and they are strong. Ontario has a big offensive line, but they're going to have their work cut out for them if they want to root out this Saskatchewan D-line led by number 74 at defensive end, Dylan Pasky.
That was thrown and caught, and that's going to be a first down for Ontario. Receiving that one was number 5, Pantelis Litviadakis Fraser. We'll get that one right here as the afternoon goes on. Apologies for any mispronunciations.
PLF coming up big with the first down.
He's out of St. Matthew's High School in Ottawa. Quick snap here, and Castleman's just going to take it down, and he's immediately wrapped up, number 45 on the Saskatchewan defense, Liam LaBelle with the tackle.
Yeah, LaBelle was really aggressive in the quarterfinal. He got a couple of offsides penalties coming on the blitzes, but he wreaks havoc coming in off the edge, and that's something Saskatchewan's going to have to take note of because Castleman can run. He had close to 60 yards and a rush TD in the quarterfinal, so you know that Saskatchewan has game plan for Castleman's legs.
2nd and 13 after the loss of 3. Saskatchewan fans trying to come alive here and encourage their defense. Castleman looking to this near side. It's caught, or was it bobbled out of the bounds? There's a tent here right in front of where he caught it. Looks like he dropped it.
Yeah, they're saying we're going to have to check the replay. That tent's right in our line of sight. But Montour tried to adjust to catch that back shoulder fade on the line, and he definitely got his hands on it. Catchable ball.
It's Trey Montour out of Ancaster, Ontario, and 3rd and 13, so the punt team is out for Ontario. Oscar ooh, that's a tough one. Chmielinski. Chmielinski is the punter. Good punt there, and back to get it again is Moore. Moore got by one, but not the second one. Ontario pinning Saskatchewan deep here at the 20-yard line.
Really nice punt. I thought Moore did a good job fielding that ball, but coverage team great. It pinned Saskatchewan back at their 21-yard line to start. So, this could be a battle of field position here early on, and we'll see if the wind picks up more. But as the wind picks up, field position could be more and more important as this game goes on.
So Saskatchewan starting on their 21. Another series here for Carter Casey. 3 to the wide side, and he hands this one off. Trying to get forward here is Boynton again. Didn't get a ton once more, so first down has been a struggle for both teams here early on.
Yeah, Ontario is playing first down run very well, and they're stringing out the run. It looks like Saskatchewan wants to bounce that off tackle, but there's not a lot of room there. Multiple tacklers in. We got some gang tackling here from, I like the double red. That's a sharp-looking uniform too Ontario has.
It is. Saskatchewan, of course, in the green and white, as you would suspect. It's a darker shade of green, more like University of Saskatchewan as opposed to the Rough Riders. Casey looking to the air this time, finds his teammate Moore. It's a first down as Moore gets over the 35, close to the 37.
Yeah, 6 foot, 180-pound Schoenecker in the tackle there, but this is what Casey does really well. He can throw the ball on time with a lot of velocity, right where it needs to be. Very catchable ball there for 87.
Tyrell Moore goes to high school in Saskatoon at St. Joseph, but he's originally from Larange, so a little bit farther north. This time play action, got a man over the middle, and it's caught, making a couple of moves as well, all the way down to about the 40-yard line. Brady Blackburn, big gain for Saskatchewan, and they are marching.
They are, and Blackburn's a big-time target here. Blackburn well over 100 yards receiving in the quarterfinal. Catches the ball, breaks a tackle, but again, a really catchable ball in stride. That enables Blackburn to keep his forward progress going and break that tackle and get some yards after catch.
Blackburn also out of Saskatoon, goes to high school at Aidan Bowman. Casey, a delayed handoff this time, and Boynton gets forward, positive yards, around 4 or 5 this time for the running back.
Yeah, Boynton breaks a tackle in the backfield, and that was a big old nose tackle there that he stepped out of that tackle to get positive yards. Again, picks up almost 5, so positive play on first down. And Boynton was the bell cow in the quarterfinal. He had close to 100 yards rushing as the featured back for Team Saskatchewan.
Out of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, the Central Cyclones is Boynton. Casey, 3 to this near side, 2 to the wide side. Decides to pull it down himself. Lots of running room for Carter Casey, and he slides just shy of the 25.
And that's what Casey can do. We saw that on the weekend as well in the quarterfinal. He has the ability to scramble, use his legs, hitch up into the pocket, and gain positive yards. He moves the sticks here. And again, that's one of those things that's really, really hard to defend. When you have a quarterback who has the mobility and the ability to prolong the plays.
Kyle Mannion, number 60, providing a nice block to open up the hole for Casey to run through. So Saskatchewan again with a fresh set of downs here. Casey fakes, now he pulls it down. This time a smaller gain, but a couple of yards forward again for Team Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Piccioni gets in on the tackle there. He had 2 sacks in the quarterfinals, so he has been very active so far in this Canada Cup. But again, well, if you're Saskatchewan, hey, you're going to take that. You know, positive play. It's only a couple of yards, but you're in field goal range. And it's really important when you're in field goal range like this not to give up a big sack that's going to push that field goal back even further.
2nd and 8 for Saskatchewan. They're on the Ontario 25. Casey takes the snap, looks to this near side, got a man, it's more! Great catch inside the 10. First down, Saskatchewan.
Hey, that's a beautiful pitch and catch on the corner route. More adjust. So, you know, when we're coaching our receivers up on those corner routes, we always say run them high or keep it skinny, right? And the quarterback will throw you down, and that enables you to adjust as a receiver. And that's exactly what we see here. The quarterback throws him down, and Moore makes that adjustment by the sideline. Beautiful pitch and catch.
1st and goal for Saskatchewan. Remember, this drive started on their own 21. Casey takes the snap. Crossing route, Moore, touchdown! Saskatchewan strike first. Less than 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Hey, Moore gets to finish it off. He started by fielding the punt down there inside his 20, and he comes up big as the featured man on this drive. And Saskatchewan is on the board first.
That's St. Joseph chemistry going to work there, the Guardians. As it's Casey to Moore for the first score of this game. And Team Saskatchewan's up.
They're going to be fun to watch this fall. That's a great connection.
And Casey will finish it off with the extra point. Makes it 7-0 for Team Sask. Again, the defending champions, multiple year defending champs of the Football Canada Cup. Saskatchewan looking to add another notch to their belt. And like you mentioned, you got to beat the man to be the man. But right now, Saskatchewan, for the last few years, they continue to just churn out players. And we talked about it a little bit last time we were here on Sunday. It doesn't matter where you are, big town, small town, they'll find you. They'll put you to work, and yeah, it's working well for Sask.
It's working. You know, a hotbed of football in Canada, on the prairies in Saskatchewan, and I'm just really impressed with how year after year they have unbelievable team chemistry. They have a compete level that's second to none, so they're doing it right in the province of Saskatchewan.
Now it's up to Ontario to respond as Casey, a line drive kick. It's going to bounce around, eventually picked up by Smith. No, it's not. It goes through. Or are we going to see something we saw in the last Elks Riders game? That one, he just got out to the 1, maybe the 2. It is a very long field for Ontario.
Yeah, he maybe should have thought about taking a knee on that one. It did not look like a good kickoff. Maybe Casey's a little bit fatigued after that long drive. That's sort of the issues when you have a skilled player who's also your kicker. But he got a really good roll, got a fortuitous roll. And, you know, if you're the Ontario coaches, you know, maybe you needed to tell the young man to have a knee if it goes in the end zone. Chase Smith brought it out, but now you're looking at 109 yards to go to the opposition goal line.
Are there many plays in your playbook for 1st and 10 from your 1? Can't imagine there's a ton of them. As Castleman will take it up the middle. He was met by Jacob Goldstone. There is a flag on the play, so we'll wait and see what happens there, but Goldstone at least got a lick in on the quarterback.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't run towards 44. I think Goldstone is the benchmark for linebackers in this tournament. He is as good as it gets here.
The trio of Leboldus Golden Sons out of Regina, and he is one of them, Goldstone.
Yeah, Goldstone was impressive in last year's Canada Cup as an underager. So we're going to decline that penalty, and we're looking at 2nd and long, backed up at about the 2.5 yard line.
2nd and 9 is what they say. Castleman has 4 receivers to the wide side. Now the running back splits out to the near side as well. There's a pump, he's got a man, and it's caught! Big time first down. Trey Montour with the catch.
That play is huge. Gets Ontario out of the shadows of their own goal line, because they probably would have had to take a safety if they did not get that first down. So another corner out. Beautiful throw by Castleman. Nice catch by Montour. moving the sticks out to the 28-yard line. That's a big-time play from Ontario.
Gain of 26 on the play. Castleman ready for another snap, fakes a handoff, a quick out, and he's got that same guy right there. Montour, this time not as much running room, but still forward progress. Going to be about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, Montour only had a couple of grabs, but for 72 yards and a score in the quarterfinals. So definitely a concerted effort to feature Trey Montour here at that short side or boundary side wide receiver spot, commonly called the X position for receiver.
Bishop Tonus Secondary School in Ontario, Ancaster for Montour. He's lined up right up against the sideline once again. This time the handoff is faked, and they find a man underneath. Number 16 is Liam Havinga.
Nice little spin move by Havinga to get close to that first down marker.
Looks like the spin might have taken him over here, and they are moving the chains, so Ontario marching a little bit.
So that yak is so important. Yards after contact. Some people call it yards after catch, but yards after contact. Because if he's brought down right at the point of contact, it's a punt situation. So fantastic spin move, move the sticks. Ontario, for Team Ontario, this is a successful drive already.
This time they will hand the ball off after a number of fakes, and a decent gain on first down. Going to be about 7 there for the running back. That's Gursey McDonald.
Yeah, I got big 64 there on the pull. That's Caden Roop. I don't have him on my original roster, but I want to give credit to the big boys when they make a play, because that sprung the running back. Caden Roop on the pull, so a bit of a trap block there to take the edge man on the line of scrimmage and open up that nice run lane.
Roop out of Mount Albert, Ontario. Saskatchewan shows blitz here. Intercepted! It's picked off by number 22, Liam Platt. And he will get it near the 35. So just when Ontario looked like they were building some momentum, Platt takes it away.
Yeah, that's a huge momentum shift, and that's what great teams do. And Saskatchewan over these last half a decade has really had great football teams. And the defense is bending, they're bending, but they don't break, and they come up with an opportunistic play. Number 22 looks like he jumps the route a little bit, came off of his man, makes a huge interception, and now Saskatchewan is nearly in field goal range already.
Liam Platt out of Miller High School in Regina, the Marauders. Carter Casey rolling out to his left, got a man open, and it's caught. A little short dump off, and it'll be about 7 or so there for number 8. That's Brady Blackburn once again.
And that's just too easy. So we see the running back leave early and offset to the line of scrimmage. He's trying to set that edge for a little half rollout by the quarterback, Casey. He's got 3 receivers out there, and he's just taking whoever comes open first in the flats. So as soon as he sees 8 flash open, he just delivers him the ball. Easy pitch and catch.
2nd and 3 here for Team Sask. Fake handoff. Casey's got to dump it. He does. Takes a hit. It's an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 from the 29. So maybe decision time here for head coach Dwayne Mason.
Yeah, it looks like the field goal team is coming on. A lot of times in high school football, when you are on the 29-yard line, a field goal would not be automatic. And with only 3 yards to go, you'd see a lot of offenses gamble, roll the dice, and go for it. But this is an all-star showcase. These kickers are outstanding in this tournament.
This is going to be about a 36-yard attempt here for Carter Casey. Wind at his back. Looks like it's not gusting at the moment. Casey lets it fly. Definitely has the leg, and it is through. Field goal is good for Carter Casey, and it's 10-0 Saskatchewan.
And he had room to spare.
Yes.
Yeah, he had a lot of room to spare. Yeah, he's got range of 40 plus, and we've seen that with a few kickers here in this tournament that they're lining up for field goals of 40 or more, and these guys are hitting them no problem. So that's what you get when you assemble some of the best high school football athletes in the nation.
24 seconds left in this opening quarter. Ontario will scrimmage from their own 35. It's been a very good first quarter here for Team Saskatchewan. A long drive that started on their own 21 that resulted in a touchdown, and then points off turnovers. that interception leading to a field goal.
Ontario has some personnel issues. They're going to have to burn a timeout early here.
They also have a new quarterback. That's Will Russell, number 12 under center. Russell out of Clarkson Secondary in Ancaster. He's coming over now to speak with the staff. Everybody get on the same page here.
Yeah, if you have to burn a timeout because of personnel issues, the worst thing you can do is just rush a player on there and run the play right away. You've taken your timeout, use the timeout, right? Bring your quarterback over, give him some instructions, you know, make sure everybody's comfortable with the assignment that's being asked for on the play.
So still 1st and 10 here for Ontario, but the clock now down to 10 seconds as they get ready to scrimmage.
And this will be a very important drive for Ontario. The last drive that they started at their own 1.5, 2 yard line, it looked good up until the interception. You know, they're moving the ball, they're converting some second downs, but you got to avoid the turnovers when you're playing against a team like Saskatchewan. They'll make you pay.
Russell has Guersy McDonald just off to his right here. 4 receivers on the wide side, nobody on this near side. The handoff is for Guersy McDonald, and he comes to the boundary side. Couldn't get around the edge on the tackle. Number 34 for Saskatchewan is Owen Zimmer.
Yeah, these are active linebackers for Saskatchewan. Zimmer flowed to the ball, man. He's got a nose for the ball. He's in there. And I like what Ontario is trying to do. They had 2 pulling linemen coming out, but you know, I'm telling you, if you have 2 pulling linemen and that play is a little bit slower developing in the backfield, that's a risky play against a team like Saskatchewan because those linebackers are so active.
Final play of the opening quarter, barring penalties, 2nd and 10 Ontario from their own 35. Russell has time here, launches one deep, got a man, oh, and it's through his hands. Opportunity there missed Liam Havinga.
Great ball, though. That's a great ball. Another corner out. Corner outs are coming open, and you know, like a corner concept or a smash concept is a fairly easy read for the quarterback, and he's able just to throw it out there into space for his receiver. But if you're Ontario, those are the plays you have to make. If you want to knock off the defending champ, those are the plays you have to have.
I love that from Ontario, though. A number of teammates, including the quarterback, Russell, coming over, say, forget about it, We'll get the next one. You'll get another chance.
It's a long game. It's a long game. That's one play, one you need to have, but the worst thing, and I hate seeing coaches and say, oh, you got to catch it, you got to catch it. He knows he has to catch it, you know. That's his job as a receiver. Telling him he's got to catch it isn't going to help the young man at all.
Chmielinski, the kicker, once again. This time back to receive it is Blackburn.
Notice some pretty nice pass protection there by the Ontario offensive line, giving the quarterback time.
Let the play develop.
That's right.
Gave him time to throw that one down.
Brett Miller's listed at 6'5", 330, the left tackle, number 69. He kept his defensive end in check, and he cast a pretty big shadow, that number 69. 6'5", 330. That's one impressive looking offensive line.
From Clarkson Secondary, Binbrook, Ontario. The reason for the delay, we're just finished the quarter, so everybody's ready to go on this 3rd and 10, but gotta let the minute go through here. So a good first quarter, Saskatchewan up 10-0.
Yeah, and you know, the score's not really indicative of the play of the game because it's been a little closer than that. I know there's some games where it's 10-0 at the end of the first quarter and you know the route is on, but I think Ontario's been very competitive here in the early going.
There's the punt. Coming over is Blackburn, watches it bounce. It took a skip away from him, and he's just going to have to eat this thing, I think. There is a whole swarm of red shirts right there. Do as he can, but not able to get beyond the 15-yard line. Another big punt for Ontario. Saskatchewan has to start deep in their own end.
Yeah, Ontario is getting some nice bounces here in the early going. And again, we talk about field position being important. Now Saskatchewan, because Blackburn didn't field the punt, they're starting back inside their own 20, and it's going to be a long field. They're going to need multiple first downs in order to get into scoring range. So if you're Ontario, you're starting the second quarter down by double digits, but you got a chance if you get a stop here early on, you're going to get the ball back in pretty darn good field position.
Of course, last time Saskatchewan started this deep, they scored. So let's see what Carter Casey has this time. Fakes it, decides to pull it down. Maybe got a couple of yards there before he was hit pretty hard. 57 was in there as well. That's Ryan Tharby.
Yeah, Tharby is a tall, lanky linebacker. I think they have him listed at about 6'5", and he long snaps as well. He had a nice interception in the quarterfinals, so he's had himself a nice start to this Canada Cup tournament as well.
Burlington, Ontario for Tharby, Corpus Christi. 2nd and 8 for Casey and Saskatchewan. Casey over the middle, a little bit too far, and it was actually in and out of the hands there of number 43, Sam Schonecker for Ontario.
Yeah, Schonecker should have had that interception. Yeah, he knocked that one down, but he read the post route that Blackburn was running. He steps right in front of the ball, and again, if he catches that one, we might be seeing a celebration down in the gold end zone, because he had a lot of daylight. He would have been running in stride. So, and again, this is the difference, between a really good team and a great team. You've got to make the plays when they're there to be had. So there's an interception, there's a long pass. We've seen an interception given up, and if Ontario is going to knock off the champs, they've got to be opportunistic on those plays when they're there to be had.
Casey didn't get that punt away very cleanly. It's out of bounds at around the 30-yard line of Saskatchewan. So this is going to be brilliant field position for Ontario.
Yeah, Casey just has a lot of jobs on his plate, right? Quarterback, kicker, punter. Saskatchewan asks a lot of that young man, and you know what? I've had that too. I've had years where I've had a running back be a kicker and punter, and sometimes they are just gassed and they're a little fatigued. So I know most of these teams have multiple athletes that can kick or punt.
Will Russell under center. Fakes the handoff. Look out here. He's holding on to the ball, but the sack is made. Number 45 for Saskatchewan is Liam LaBelle.
Yeah, LaBelle, man, he's active. He likes to fly in there. Like I said, he took a couple offsides penalties, but I always say we'd rather fire him up. Rather reel him in than fire him up. And LaBelle's one of those guys. He looks fiery. He plays with passion, flies around the field, and that's a huge play because it pretty much takes him right to the brink of being out of field goal range. So if you're Ontario, you got to get a positive play here on second down.
It's a loss of 9. 2nd and 19 from the 38. Over the middle, a little bobble, but caught. And not quite back to the original line of scrimmage there, but a positive game forward. Number 3 is Dante Law out of Kingston.
Yeah, great catch by Dante Law there, because Zimmer was coming into his sights. So they tried to find that soft spot in the zone, and you'd almost run out of that soft spot. Look at that white F7 helmet, though. Looks good on those red jerseys.
It does.
Doesn't it, man? That's a sharp look. So nice grab by Dante there to get them back into field goal range.
Looks like it's going to be about 38-yard field goal here for Chmielinski.
He's made a couple long ones already in this tournament. This is well within his range.
Wind doesn't appear to be too bothersome at the moment. Chmielinski, holy smokes, he's got some leg. And it is true and through. He could have hit that from about 50.
Yeah, I think he's got a 50-yard leg. I really do. That was 38, and he cleared that one with, probably about 15 to spare.
Caught
I'd
basically
say
at the end of the end zone, which is 20 yards deep. So, yeah, no, there's lots of leg there for Chmielinski, and it pulls Ontario back to within a touchdown, a one-possession game once again.
One-score game, and that's why it was an important second down. The Ontario could not afford to lose any more real estate. They get a positive play and settle for a field goal, but they're on the board now, and it's a one-score game with 9:04 left in the first half. We got ourselves a ball game.
Carter Casey once again for Team Saskatchewan. Boynton in the backfield. 3 to the near side, 2 out wide. This time it's Boynton taking the handoff, trying to get around the edge. He got tripped up, but not after he already had gotten about 6 yards, maybe close to 7 here.
Yeah, nice tackle by Cleffin there, 6 foot tall, lanky defensive back. But I kind of like what Saskatchewan did there, is try to overload at the point of attack by running trips or 3 receivers to the boundary. That's the short side of the field, and run a little stretch zone blocking to try to get the running back outside. And again, I'm a fan of this running back, number 28 for Saskatchewan, Boynton. I like the way he lowers that pad level.
2nd and 4, and they give it right to Boynton again, and that should be enough for the first down on that surge forward. And we've got a late flag coming out here, so maybe somebody did something or said something the referees caught.
Yeah, this could be an objectionable conduct, or a misconduct as they're calling it now. Could be a tack on 15 yards here at the end of the run.
Stop to the first down!
Oh, piling on call.
That's Ontario getting called for that.
And that'll be 15 yards at the end of the play.
It's a big 15 yards as it will move Saskatchewan into Ontario territory now.
But you see, Boynton's a tall running back. He's almost 6 feet tall, but I love the way he lowers his pads and he gets the weight out front over his toes. And he's able to absorb that contact and fall forward for an extra couple of yards every time he has the ball.
5'11", 210. That's a tough guy to bring down.
He's a big back.
Casey has Boynton to his right. Now he splits out. A little pitch this time to Blackburn. Can he get the edge? Yes, he can. Nice block there by Moore. And Blackburn's going to get close to the first down.
Yeah, Blackburn turns the corner because 87 Moore is able to make a key block. But again, Moore's a receiver, but he's 205 pounds. Like, that's a solid high school receiver. And he's able to open that edge up so Blackburn can turn on the Jets there for about 9.5 yards.
He hurdled that A-frame cleanly too, and those aren't short either. So
yeah, those athletes always do stuff like that,
yeah,
right?
You know,
they make that stuff look easy.
So here it is, 2nd and 1 is what they say.
I would have just lowered my shoulders right through it.
Yeah, Casey right up under center will hand it off to Boynton, and that should be enough for the first on forward progress. Should be right near the 35.
Boynton, the ball carrier, he takes it up the middle.
Yeah, they'll move the chains one more time. Big 6'8" Nathan Boyd, 6'6", 310 from Belgoni. The Griffins. Lives in White City. Plays for the Belgoni Griffins. He's one of those leaders up front with the. That's a big old line.
Yeah. White City, Belgoni, kind of right in that Regina Moose Jaw area.
God's country, I call it.
Quick hitter this time for Blackburn. There's a flag in the backfield. Blackburn trying to get away here. He's inside the 20, but let's see what the laundry says.
He'd be coming back for a holding call.
He was quick in the backfield.
The refs are going to huddle up and talk about this one.
Saskatchewan appears to be coming back as well, so
they may call an illegal cut block. Yep, they are. So you're not allowed to block below the waist if somebody's engaged, or if you're blocking below the waist, it has to be above the knee, and it's between the hip and above the knee. And that is a small target for a when you're playing live. You know, it's one thing if you're going to practice it on a bag. When you have a real live player going against you, that is a small target. So I know a lot of teams at the high school level, our team included, we've just the last couple of years done away with teaching the cut blocks.
So it'll be 1st and 25 now for Saskatchewan. They'll have a couple of plays here to try to get that first down. Casey is taken down. It's going to be a sack, a loss of a couple here. And it looks like number 90 is in there. Of
course it is.
Carter Gooden.
215-pound, 6'4" speed end. Wow. He had 3 sacks in the quarterfinal game. He's 3 that we, statistically given credit for, but he was a presence in the backfield on Sunday. And again, first time we've called his name here. Look for more of him here on 2nd and long.
Salt Fleet High School in Stony Creek, Ontario, just in the greater Hamilton region. Casey, 2nd and 27. He's just going to use the getaway sticks here and run out of bounds. inside the 45. Let's see where they officially mark him out. It looks like it's around the 42. So still second and very long here for Saskatchewan. It might be a little bit too far out of his range as well.
Yeah, they might be in a punt situation here. But that shows you what a important penalty that was for the illegal cut block or chop block on the line, because Blackburn had a play inside around the 25-yard line, would have been first down, scoring range, and all of a sudden now you're forced to punt the ball.
5:45 left in the second quarter. There is the punt. Looking for that coffin corner. It's a little bit short of it, but still down in and around the 20. So decent punt for Saskatchewan, and Ontario has a long way to go.
Yeah, that's one of those punts. It's not going to look good in the box score on the stat sheet. It's not a long punt, but you don't give up any return, so it's safe. Definitely could have got another 5 or 10 yards on it, but I think if you're a coach, you live with that and say, hey, they're starting inside their 25. We have not a good defense, but a great defense. So it's a long field to go again for Team Ontario.
23 is where they mark it, and Ontario is going to have Castleman as the quarterback as they kind of go back and forth here between Castleman and Russell.
And Castleman has some athletic ability. He's got some wheels, so don't be surprised if you see a designed quarterback run on this drive.
That is Liam LaBelle, number 45 for Saskatchewan, who's walking off now on his own steam. He had taken a knee.
Yeah, it's good to see the young man up walking on his own power. That's a big loss if he's not in the ball game for Saskatchewan. LaBelle's an outstanding linebacker.
Feels a little bit early for cramp type of injuries. It is warm. It is a little bit humid here in Edmonton.
It's humid for us here. I heard some of the Atlantic people talking about at least it's not humid. What are you talking about? I'm going to change my T-shirt here.
Yeah. And right in the backfield, taken down, number 51 with the tackle for Saskatchewan. That is Lucien Verity.
Yeah, I don't think Jersey McDonald is gonna break a tackle of a boy that size. Verity is listed as 265. He looks every ounce of that.
Out of Saskatoon, Bishop James Monty. So 2nd and 13. It was a loss of 3 for Ontario. Castleman looking at the plays on the wrist. And he fakes the handoff. Just a little quick hitter here. Trying to turn up field was number 5. That's lived the attack as Frazier.
Yeah, and I like that play. It's a little bit of play action and get a little hide route coming from the slot back, coming out underneath the line of scrimmage. I prefer that play on first down, where a defense is probably a little bit more apt to bite down on the run action. And it got 6.5 yards. Again, if that was a first down play, I would love it. When it's 2nd and 10 against a defense like Saskatchewan, I'm not sure you're gonna pick up 10 yards.
3rd and 3 from their 30, and the punt will come away here. Another bit of a wobbly one. Gets just beyond the midfield stripe and goes out of bounds from Schmalinski. Looks like they're going to mark it pretty much right at the midfield stripe here.
Yeah, that looked like it came off the side of his foot. But again, no return on the play. So not a horrible punt, but I'm sure Ontario would have liked to get another 10 or 15 yards of length off of that.
So the scrimmage basically at the big Block A, the University of Alberta. This is their home field where the Golden Bears play. Casey, a little bit of a delayed handoff for Boynton, bounced off one, then slammed to the ground. 97, Andre Thompson.
Oh, 97 just closed that. For a second, I thought there was a run lane there, but 97 closed that down. Again, it's a slower developing play where you have pulling linemen, and 97 just scrapes down that line of scrimmage, and oof, he ends that with impact.
Thompson from London South in London, Ontario. So it's maybe a gain of the nose of the football. That's about it. It's 2nd and 10 at midfield here for Team Sask.
That was a big hit to take for 2 inches.
Casey Boynton splits out. Look out for the blitz. It's deflected at the line and incomplete. Racing in on the blitz there was number 6 for Ontario. That's Zach Payne once again.
Yeah, and Stockwood Izzy, the big nose tackle, 6'5", 335 from Clarkson. He got his big old mid up there, and I love seeing high-level football, and at the high school level. So you got a blitz called in, and a lot of times blitzes only work if the D-line does their job and they open it up. So Clarkson's job there is to actually get blocked, to occupy those linemen, and he had the wherewithal to get his hands up there and block that pass. Great play.
There's a good punt from Casey, a little bit short. It drops into the arms there of the returner, number 11, Matthew Stam from Guelph. And he's up to about the 32, and that's where Ontario will start this drive.
Yeah, and pretty good coverage down the field again. It's Matthew McCauley, little stocky linebacker there, 5'9", 185 from Winston Knoll in Regina. My cousins went to Winston Knoll. Quarterbacks.
The Wolverines of Winston Knoll. Castleman under center once again. He'll hand this one off. Gursey McDonald, a little bit of room here up near the 40. Taken down, looks like 34 Zimmer and 44 Goldstone around the running back there.
Yeah, Zimmer and Goldstone kind of viced in on that tackle, but a real nice game on first down for Ontario. Gursey McDonald, he carried the ball a lot in the quarterfinal. A lot for this type of event where you see running backs pontoon in and out. But he had 9 totes of the rock there in the quarterfinal, which these types of events is pretty substantial. And I liked what he did. I think he's a very strong running back. And this keeps the playbook wide open here to be second and a long 3, it looks like.
Grimsby, Ontario is Gursey McDonald. Teams issued the 3-minute warning here.
This half has just flown by.
It really has. 10-3 Saskatchewan in front. Another handoff for Gursey McDonald. Trying to get around the edge. Boy, there's not a lot of room there. Gang tackled, but it's going to be awfully close to a first down. They might have to bring the sticks out here.
That's a heck of an effort by Gursey McDonald. Heck of an effort. Takes gangrene to bring him down there. I mean, you see 22 in on the tackle there. I think they ended off. That's Platt.
That's Platt who had the interception.
Yeah,
yep.
Right. So Platt gets in there, but that's close. That's within
third
a yard
and a football maybe.
So this is where you've got to trust in your big O line. I don't know if we still call them hogs, but
here's another look at it. You can see initial contact behind the 40, and he does everything he can just to get above or over the 40 and as far as he can to get it close. They are bringing the sticks out here.
Roop was pulling around again. I like how mobile Roop is for a high school guy that size. Listed at 285.
It is a little bit short, isn't it? Referee kind of in the way there, but it's 4 or 5 chain links short, so
yeah.
Not very.
Yeah, if you're Ontario, again, this separates the contenders from the pretenders here. You've got maybe 6 inches to go. Ball at your own 42.
A yard of gap between your O-line and their D-line. It should be elementary, but
you got to get it.
You've got to do it. We've seen it how many times? High school, university, CFL.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's given.
No, there's no gimmies. That's why it's pressure-free up here talking about it. But
yeah,
if you're on the sidelines, my stomach's in knots, You're holding your breath saying, come on, big boys, get a push.
Castleman looked like he was going to stay out of the gun, but this is the smart play right under center. Gets a surge forward from that big offensive line, and that should be enough for the first. As he gets beyond the 42, he didn't get much beyond it, but it will be enough for a first down.
Yeah, I thought the O-line did a pretty nice job. They got a push, but Castleman didn't get the surge that I was expecting with a nice push like that from his O-line in front.
Simonoski, Roop, Woods, Longley, and Miller, the listed starting offensive line for Ontario.
It's a good-looking front because this Saskatchewan D-line can flat-out play. So credit to Ontario.
Castleman handed off again to Gursey McDonald, hit in the backfield. drug a man with them for a little bit. That was number 51 for Saskatchewan, Verity once again.
Yeah, Verity's had an active first half. That's his second tackle for a loss. And he moves well. I mean, he's listed at 265. And like I said, he looks at every ounce of 265, but I like his getup. I like the way he can flow down the line of scrimmage and penetrate.
2nd and 11. Just over 2 minutes left in this opening half. Ontario just kind of slowly, methodically making their way forward here. Castleman flings it out. It's caught. First down and a little bit more over midfield for number 16, Havinga. That'll make up for that miss he had earlier.
Right, that moves the chains, so good for Havinga. I'd like to see a young man get a bit of redemption, right? Get that second chance. Now, they haven't, Ontario hasn't. He was number 18 here. Big Jakeem Irons, he's 6'6". I'm surprised they haven't thrown one up to him yet.
He's matched up here with Platt, and he's way offside. As you mentioned him, of course, now he gets involved somehow.
Maybe they were going to him on that one. He's got so excited. He said, they haven't targeted me yet, so my number's called, I get a little excited.
Jakeem Irons out of Westmount Secondary, Hamilton, Ontario.
You know, he's going up against Platt. Now, Platt's tall for a DB. He's 6 feet tall, but 6'6" versus 6 feet, sometimes you just got to take your chance. I mean, if he was if the DB was 5'6" and the wideout was 6 feet tall, you'd say, oh, you got a big height discrepancy, you got a mismatch. Use it. Well, it's still 6 inches, which is 6'6" and 6 feet. That's how you know you're at an all-star event.
Exactly right, hey? 1:48 to go. 1st and 15 now for Ontario, back on their own side of the field. Castleman, quick out. I think he felt the pressure coming and just threw that one away. It was in the vicinity of a couple of receivers there, but nobody could come down with it.
Yeah, it looked like that was a bit of a screen set up and the timing wasn't there. We said screen passes take a while to install in practice to make sure everybody's timing's down right, the match between the running back and the line, but those types of plays, they pay dividends though. They're worth the time to install. And Roop, man, 64, that guy's impressing me. He had a pancake there. It's where he takes the defensive line down to the ground for, I don't mean he's actually eating on the field. I'm sure at halftime the big boys might be partaking in some snacks.
Grab a little snack, yeah.
Right.
Castleman 4 out wide, 1 to the boundary. Has some time over the middle. It's a crossing route that's caught, but kind of going backwards there was Scam, not forward. He was about a yard short of the first down, and I think he was tackled maybe 2 or 3 shy.
Yeah, Stam just needs to catch that ball and fall forward. You know the situation. You know, where he catches the ball. If he just turns his shoulders and dives ahead, he's going to be really close to the first down, but he bellies it back. And unfortunately now for Ontario, they have to punt the ball.
3rd and 5. 49 is where they are of Saskatchewan. A minute 37 ticking down. Could we see something here maybe, Chad?
Yep, we're seeing it right now. Big 9-7.
There you go. He's trying to barge his way through, but he's going to be short. It's a turnover on downs as they were trying to let Thompson run with it, but instead Saskatchewan snuffed it out. What do you make of the decision there from Ontario head coach Rob Underhill?
Well, you know, I don't these guys are all great coaches, but hey, I love what 97 does on the D-line, but you got some great ball carriers. I'm not sure I would have been given 97 the ball for that play. I don't mind a punt fake. In fact, you know, when I'm coaching, I love doing stuff like that, but I probably would have given it to a different ball carrier. But easy for me to second guess it.
Sure. So Saskatchewan takes over at their own 47. Got about a minute and a half to try to work the ball down the field. That one is caught by Boynton, but it's really for naught as it is just going to be right at the line of scrimmage again.
Oh, Piccioni read this screen pass. I'm really, really impressed with this guy. So he reads this and he traces down the line of scrimmage, finds that running back and makes the tackle. So that's difficult. You know, that's something, you know, he's probably got quite a bit of experience. I don't know his background, but that's a real savvy play by the linebacker.
It's about a half-yard loss here. Still 2nd and 10.
They're bringing the house.
Bringing blitz, yep. Quickly out to Blackburn. He's got the first down inside the Ontario 50. The ball came out, but he was down already. Ontario trying to sell it like it was a fumble. But a big first down here for Saskatchewan with about a minute left.
Yeah, Silcox is trying to say he stripped that ball out, but I'm pretty sure Blackburn was down without seeing it on replay. Just by the naked eye, I was pretty sure he was down. Now, Ontario drops 97 back in coverage there. Thompson, right? When they bring that blitz, they bit of an exotic blitz where they drop off the DN in coverage, and he was close. You know, he's 6'4". He was stretched out real close, but again, 97's a heck of an athlete. I guess they like to use his versatility.
Casey, that one's tipped it up for grabs, but it will just fall incomplete. And it looks like, was that Thompson who got hands to it?
I thought it might have been Gooden, number 90. Had a hard time telling it. I mean, really long, lengthy D lineman, right? And smart on those quick one-step drops where the quarterback gets it out of his hands quick. You're not going to get a sack on those plays, so get your arms up, right? Get your arms in the pass lane.
2nd and 10 here for Saskatchewan. Just 39 seconds left in this first half. Probably about, 15, 20 yards from field goal range. Quickly to Boynton. He gets tackled. He's going to be 4 yards short of the first down. Field goal attempt from here would be about 50, 51 yards. It seems a little bit too far, I think, for Carter Casey.
I think so. Piccioni, a real nice tackle there, but Boynton again, right? He's got that lean and that forward momentum that he's able to eke out a few more yards after contact all the time. But just speaking of this, this tall, long Ontario D line, like Casey from Saskatchewan here he's right up there with one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in this tournament. But he is only 5'11". He's under 6 feet. So if you're a 6'4" plus D lineman with those long arms, get him up, take away his sight lines.
Saskatchewan is going to let the clock tick down as much as they can here before snapping this one, punting it away. Casey lets it fly. End over end punt, bouncing around, picked up here by Smith. Smith trying to spin away, and he has. Can he get around the edge? Stopped up, and he stepped out of bounds right there. There are 3 seconds left in the half.
Late flag coming out too well after the play. I don't know if somebody said something. Goldstone was in there with a bunch of red jerseys. I would think Ontario would just kneel this one out here.
Regardless of what the penalty does?
You don't want to make a mistake at this point in the half. You're right in it. Go into halftime. You're within striking distance of the defending champs.
Referee still having a discussion about this one here. I think you're probably right with it being kind of a moot point, this penalty. You can just get going, but make sure that we get everything right here.
The refs are talking about it. They're explaining it to Big 69 there, Brett Miller. Looks like they're going to move it back. Could be against Ontario.
Just waiting for our referee to make the signal here. It's a holding call. And also an objectionable conduct there.
Yeah. So I believe if you get 2 of those, you're ejected from the game. That was sort of new to us in Spring League this year.
So I guess the danger here is you have to make sure that you're not kneeling in your end zone as it's back at the 3-yard line.
Yeah. You might just want to do a little quarterback sneak, a little plunge, just to ensure that you're not giving up a safety at this point, because that would be catastrophic with 3 seconds left. You don't want to give up any points. You want to go into the half down by 1 score.
They're putting Russell in at quarterback here. A little bit bigger than Castleman. And he will just be right up under center and kneel just at about the half-yard line. So there we have it for the first half. A close one here at Foote Field. Saskatchewan leading Ontario 10-3, just the 1 score. And it was on a very impressive drive. Tyrell Moore finished it off with the catch from his teammate Carter Casey. What did you make of that first half, Chad, from a Saskatchewan perspective first?
Well, a really competitive first half, and I think Saskatchewan got off to a good start with that long drive, touchdown drive to open it up. But they got to know that they're in for a fight here. There's going to be no gimmies in the second half, and Saskatchewan has a target. You talk to anybody, they want to beat Saskatchewan. All the talk coming into these tournaments now is, oh, I hear Saskatchewan's really good. They're the defending champs, and so they have a big bullseye on them, a target, and they have to know that. So it's all a mindset, right? So if I'm the Saskatchewan coaching staff, I'm telling them, like, hey, let's go out there and be the hunter, not the hunted, right? That don't take your foot off. Don't play not to lose. You play to win, right? Because with the exception of a few of these players, they're not the champs. Last year's guys were the champs. These guys need to earn it themselves.
And Ontario, they got to be pretty happy with where they are in this game at this moment.
Yeah, they've got to be happy. I ran in on Sunday. I ran into a few players from Team Ontario, and they're asking me, "Do you think we have a chance against Saskatchewan?" Right? Because they've heard how good they are and stuff. And you can tell these boys were excited and amped. I think they like the role of the underdog. They like that role. They're embracing that role. They're the underdog. They're here to pull off a huge upset that the football community across the nation will be talking about. And I think that's the mindset Ontario has. And you know what? They just might be able to do it. They're down by one score. This is a pretty even affair here. I'm really entertained by the talent level we've seen. Well-coached football teams, lots of talent on that field, both sides of the ball.
It's going to be a very entertaining second half, and we'll bring it to you in just a few minutes. This is the 2023 Football Canada Cup from Foote Field in Edmonton right here on Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live.
that I could give you that look that's perfectly insane.
Here are your statistics from the first half of play. First downs for Ontario 5, for Saskatchewan 8. Yards rushing for Ontario 16 yards, for Saskatchewan 57. Passing yards, Ontario 93, Saskatchewan 95. Total offense, 95 yards for Ontario, 150 yards for Saskatchewan. Ontario completed 8 of 12 passes, Saskatchewan 8 of 13. Penalties, Ontario had 4 penalties for 27 yards, Saskatchewan had 1 penalty for 15 yards. For the Saskatchewan team, there's a pickup here at the announcer's booth for Nadine Durant, something that she pre-ordered. So if you could just come up to the announcer's booth and someone will give it to you up here.
And then that gives you guys.
Ontario will be receiving the Saskatchewan kickoff and defending the North Zone.
Back inside Foote Field here, getting ready for the third quarter entertaining game, semifinal number 1 of the 2023 Football Canada Cup. Saskatchewan up 10-3 on Ontario as we get ready to begin half number 2. Ontario will be receiving the kickoff here. Grayson Knudsen alongside Chad Hill, a Sports Canada TV presentation in partnership with IC Live. So glad to be bringing you this outstanding football tournament. We've seen some great games so far, and we're in the middle of one right here.
Yeah, this has been an excellent first half of football. Team Ontario hanging with the defending champion, Team Saskatchewan.
Carter Casey getting ready to kick things off. Just waiting for the signal from the referee.
You know, I think the Ontario defense did a good job on Boynton, Javin Boynton. 7 carries, 24 yards only, averaging just under 3.5 a carry because Boynton, you know, he had a big game in the quarterfinal. He was tearing it up. So Ontario really limiting the Saskatchewan run game.
Saskatchewan had 150 yards total offense in the first half. Ontario 95. As this one bounces and is picked up by Stam. Stam got away from one, but not the second tackler. Number 21, Jacob Fair, out of Herschel, Saskatchewan. You want to talk small town? Herschel, Saskatchewan is right up there. He goes to high school in nearby Rosetown.
Okay, I'm going to say I'm from Saskatchewan, and I do not know where Herschel is. I do know LeBret, though, because we got Jake Mayo from LeBret, and I go to LeBret every time I'm back in Saskatchewan. But love that some of these small towns are represented here on this team.
So Ontario will scrimmage from their own 23, 1st and 10. They've got Will Russell as the quarterback once again. Referees just holding play up here for a brief moment. Now it looks like everything is organized and ready to go. Russell looking to get this one out quick. He's got a man on the near side, and it's through the hands of Montour and incomplete.
Okay, and Ontario gets away with one there. Number 22, Gursey McDonald, the running back, cuts down the blitzing linebacker. 44, Goldstone, I believe, was in there like a hot knife through butter on that blitz, but the running back just saved his quarterback's bacon there. And again, really hard to take on a linebacker the size of Goldstone when he's got a head of steam. He took him low. That could have been a 15-yard call again, but the Stripes missed that one.
2nd and 10 now for Ontario. Russell faked the handoff, but he didn't have his guy there. Now he's trying to run, but there is nowhere to go. And the aforementioned Goldstone is the one who brings the QB down.
Yeah, 6'3", 220 from the Golden Suns. And I'm telling you, I think, in my opinion, 44 is as good as any linebacker I have seen in this tournament. And I said these quarterbacks are mobile. He's not going to get away, especially when there was some miscommunication on that back. Decline the penalty.
3rd and 14 now. So Ontario is going to have to punt from their own 18 or so. So Saskatchewan should get the ball in very good field position for their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, this is not the start Ontario wanted. It starts with the kick return. I'm a fan of getting north and south as fast as you can as a returner. Again, like the guys in green going down on the coverage, they're too good. You're not going to outrun them to the sidelines.
Schmelinski will just concede the 2. What do you make of that decision?
Well, years ago I never would have done it. I was against giving up the safety. I've kind of come around to giving up the safety now in certain situations. That being said, I'm not convinced that was a situation that I would have done that, for the simple fact that Saskatchewan's one of the teams that doesn't have a kicker who's nailing these long 40-plus yard field goals, right? So if you can get a good punt, Saskatchewan, it wasn't a gimme that they were in field goal range.
Ontario's defense has been good too.
They have been, right? They have been. That being said, this is probably the safe play, but this Saskatchewan defense is pretty good to get down multiple scores to in the second half.
Little sling pass out here to Boynton. Javen Boynton, he's going to be close to the first down. Maybe rolled over for 11.
I think they're going to give it to him. Little swing pass. Now, the danger in that pass is the way Boynton is running that looks like a lateral. That looks like a backward pass. So if he drops that ball, if it's incomplete, it's actually a live ball, like a fumble. So I would like to see them just work on that spacing a little bit.
It's like they give him exactly 10. This time they just hand it off to him right up the middle. Boynton, first down and more. Run of about 15 into Ontario territory.
Okay, so maybe the Saskatchewan coaches looked at that stats line at half and I said, Ontario, they've done a pretty good job on Boynton, averaging less than 3.5 a carry. Well, Boynton's coming out here on fire to start this third quarter.
A couple of nice blocks there from 64, Emmett Reinhardt and Tristan Rapchok, 66, both out of Miller and Regina. I think there's the three interior linemen are all out of Miller. This time Boynton dropped the football, but he had hit the ground, so it's not a fumble. Gain of only about a couple here this time.
Yeah, that's Piccioni again, knifing in there off the edge to make the tackle to limit that gain to a couple.
One more look at it here. There he is.
Yeah.
52, Marco Piccioni.
Piccioni he's flashed today. He's making a name for himself.
So 2nd and 8 now for Saskatchewan. Boynton goes to help block. Casey rolling out, just dumps it off. He was under pressure there. Thompson.
That's all Andre Thompson. So Saskatchewan wants to set the edge, right? Boynton comes up. Boynton's job is to help the offensive tackle on 97. Set that edge so the quarterback can roll out. But they just got split. That is all Andre Thompson. He's splitting that block and wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Penalty against Saskatchewan. It was, I believe, was it grounding that he was called for?
And that's a tough one because I'm not sure it was intentional. I think it was just 97 got the pressure and affected that pass.
Yeah, I was just save my bacon here so I don't get run over.
Right. I think Carter Casey tried to make that throw, but again, he's 5'11", and he's got a guy who's every bit of 6'4" and long and lanky up in his face, penetrating. And it's really hard. He's rolling left too.
Yeah.
You know, tough for right-handed quarterbacks to roll left.
Casey boots this one away. And it will be Stam who takes it. Gets by one. Does he have the edge here? Well, he runs into number 45, LaBelle. And so it's going to be a decent return for Stam and Team Ontario. They'll start at their own, looks like 42.
Yeah, much better return for Stam. I like the way he gets his shoulders turned north-south a little quicker there on that return kickoff to start the half. And, some impact there on the sidelines on LaBelle. He's not shying away from that mean old linebacker closing ground on him.
Russell takes the handoff, hands it to Hersey McDonald, and there he is, nowhere to go. Number 51 right there with Verity, but how did he get out of there?
I don't know how he got up.
I was sure he was down.
Check his uniform for some grease, because Verity had him. It looked like hog wrestling or something. Verity had him squeezed in the backfield, and somehow 22 he pops free.
Got a first down out of it too. Here it is.
And Goldstone's in there.
That's a great run. More contact there. That's outstanding. That's the hardest 10 yards he might have to work for here. They go right back to him. Why not? He's over midfield now. And that's a gain of about 5, so it'll be second and manageable here for Ontario.
Yeah, not flashy, but effective there to get 5 yards. Whereas the play before, he's breaking tackles in the backfield and squirming loose. So this drive featuring Hersey McDonald, 5'11", 185-pound running back from Grimsby.
2nd and 6 as Ontario just gets their nose into Saskatchewan territory. Quick out here for Montour. Got one block, and that's going to be close to the first down anyway.
Yeah,
we'll have to take a look at where they spot it.
I like the way Montour catches that little X-hitch screen and gets back outside.
Just enough for the first here for Ontario, who are starting to move the ball on offense now.
And I don't know if you saw the end of that play, though. That Caden Roop, he's a mean boy. He is a mean boy getting down the field, launching a defensive back. He's taking a knee now.
He's taking a knee now, yeah.
Yeah, he hurt himself by launching a little person several yards in the air.
It's like he's favoring that right left knee, pardon me, just a little bit, so he'll get some attention. But this is a drive for Ontario. I mean, it hasn't been the prettiest. It's just kind of been 5 yards here, 6 yards here. There's a run for 9.
Yeah.
And they're moving their way up.
They are. And again, I like it's pretty much an extension of the run game. Anytime you throw these little wide receiver hitch screens, and I'm a big fan of those, right? You get the ball into a playmaker's hands, like Jersey McDonald, there's only so many hits he can take at the line of scrimmage on one drive. So why not get it out there to a playmaker like Montour? It's 6 yards, and he gets about 6.5, 7, and they move the chains. So nice play calling on this drive and good execution. But with 64 coming out of the ball game now, it's going to be interesting to see if they can continue to run the ball on this drive.
Did walk off on his own, so that's good news. It doesn't look like it'll be anything too serious. Jersey McDonald, look out! That is Goldstone, who is all over him in the backfield. Big loss.
Yeah, hot knife through butter there. That was a green knife knifing through the red jelly there in the backfield. Wow, Goldstone's a player, and he just comes downhill. He's hunting right there. And running back didn't stand a chance there. Didn't stand a chance.
Loss of 5. Another tackle for Goldstone, who continues to impress, the Regina product.
Yeah, that's a name to watch. Can't wait to see where this kid goes in the next 5 or 6 years.
Russell, empty backfield. Quick hitter, and some moves here as there's a little bit of room for Law. Dante Law, he's going to be about 2 yards short, but he did a good job to get it into an interesting decision-making range for Rob Underhill.
Nice little wiggle there by Dante Law. Cuts it back against the green to get close to the first down. And he's showing off his athletic ability. Normally I would say, okay, hit it up and back outside, but he's actually has great vision there. A couple of nice little jukes and great vision. Sets it up for about 3rd and 2.
And they're going for it. Might be just out of field goal range, but a little bit too close for a punt. So they fake the handoff, dump it off a wide open man, and plenty of running room there for Levadiakis Frazier.
PLF on a big first down. There is a flag. But
Came out late.
Love that play action with that little hide route from the slot back, pop it on the other side, underneath the line of scrimmage.
Pantelis Levadiotakis Fraser. I think I got it. Levadiotakis.
That is a handle.
Russell coming over just to discuss things with the OC. And we're waiting for the signal on this flag.
I think he's gonna mark now.
They moved it back
Ontario,
10.
yeah. But first down given. Not sure was that on. I don't want to single alignment or anything, but Miller I saw had his man pinned. I'm not sure if there's something excessive on that. Again, a misconduct penalty, I believe.
Yeah, the first down still stands, but they did move the ball back. So 1st and 10 from the 36 for Ontario. Russell has 4 to this near side, the wide side of the field. One guy on the boundary, and then Jersey McDonald splits out that way too. Look out! Just got it out in time. It's up for grabs, and it is incomplete, but a flag from the back judge there. Russell got smoked by Zimmer as he threw that one.
Yeah, Zimmer got all of it. Zimmer teed off on Russell. But there is a flag in the defensive secondary, and normally that's a illegal contact or a defensive pass interference. Credit to Zimmer for hanging in there because 34 was coming unabated straight to that quarterback. He got all of them.
No flag. They're going to pick this one up. It's 2nd down.
I like being privy to the information as to why they threw it in the first place. I'm not hearing that.
Yeah. So 2nd and 10 for Ontario. They're on the Saskatchewan 36. Russell got a man open. That's going to be a first down for Ontario. Number 16 is Havinga.
Yeah, Havinga wide open, just sitting down about that 10 to 12 yards over top the center. It's that little spot route. So he's usually the check down, right? That 7 to 12 yards straight over the center is a check down for the quarterback. So good job by the QB coming off his initial read and finding the wide open receiver.
This Ontario drive continuing. They're on the Saskatchewan 25 now. Handoff for Gursey McDonald, trying to get around the edge. He eluded one tackle, but not the second one. As he was taken down, Liam Platt was the guy who got him in the end.
Yeah, Platt ended him. I think the Russell out of Yorkton, I think, tried to trip him up around the shoestring. So that bright orange helmet in there. But this is an excellent drive from Ontario. Taking time off the clock. Their defense should be well rested now.
2nd and 8. Russell looking to the air. Has a man right in the middle once again. It's Havinga, and he's got a first down.
Hey, this is amateur football. These high school guys, right? Havinga had the drop early on, and now he's coming up clutch right here. Moves the sticks again. Love seeing a young man get another chance to do right, do his offense good. And he took a good shot there down on the turf. Goldstone, man. These Saskatchewan guys are tough, eh? Like, man, Goldstone finishes.
Another fresh set of downs for Ontario. Knocking on the door here. Can they break through? Russell goes to the end zone. Got a man, is just out of his reach. Lavadiatakis Fraser dove, but just couldn't quite come up with that.
Yeah, PLF had a step on his man there. He had a step on Rempel, and Rempel's a real good, versatile defender that we haven't said his name much. I thought he had a really solid quarterfinal game. Linebacker, sort of hybrid linebacker, DB type. They move him around the secondary.
3 minutes left in this third quarter. Ontario, 2nd and 10. They can get a first down without scoring here. Russell, 4 guys on the wide side. Montour alone on this near side. He's going to pull it down, but there is nowhere to go. That is a quarterback sack. And getting there is number 74. That is Dylan Paskew out of Regina Winston Knoll High School.
Yeah, that Paskew, he's a bit of a beast too. He's had a quiet afternoon compared to the quarterfinal game. He just wreaked havoc in that quarterfinal. And Ontario had some success with the quarterback draw in the quarterfinal, but again, this Saskatchewan front is a whole different animal. You're running a risk when you run a quarterback draw against this team.
This is going to be a field goal attempt from about 22 for Schmelinski. Feels like a chip shot for him. But he missed it wide, and it's going to be just a single. So it's an 8-point game at 12-4.
Yeah, it was a chip shot. I'm not sure what happened there, but you saw as soon as the kick happened, Schmelinski put his hands up to his helmet. In disbelief, he knew that was not a good connection.
It almost looked like he didn't quite follow through.
Yeah.
He was trying to guide it more so than kick it. I mean, again, we're up here, so
right.
We get to say things like that, but
yeah.
I'm sure he's immediately gone back to look at the iPad. They have those now on the sidelines for these high school kids.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think he did try to chip it as opposed to just follow through. And who cares if you hit the scoreboard? Just kick it.
We can replace those lights. Quick hitter here out to Blackburn. Made a couple of men miss. There's a flag that came out. This would be about a 5-yard gain for Blackburn, but we'll wait and see what the flag is for.
They might be calling Angelstad. 63, good-looking lineman. Gets out there in space. They might call a block in the back. I think he got Piccioni in the back. Yeah.
There it is, block in the back. So we'll march it back, and it'll still be first down here for Saskatchewan.
I hate doing Angelstad like that, calling his name for the first time on a penalty, but he's had a heck of a good game. Good lineman.
6'4", 235. Another Aiden Bowman product from Saskatoon. They're the ones with the bright yellow helmets on the Saskatchewan side. Casey looking to the far side. There's another Aiden Bowman guy. That's Blackburn. Not a ton of running room there. He's still only about the 30-yard line, so it'll be second and around, well, it's going to be about 15, maybe 16 yards here. He only got 4.
Yeah, Blackburn seems like that possession type receiver where he's almost like a slot back, running back hybrid. They just like to get him the ball in space and say, hey, go make a play. Get the ball in your hand out there, go make a play.
Gave him 5, so second and 15 here. Casey will stop up and then make them all run again. Dumps it off here to Boynton. Got to get by Thompson. He does. Now there's some room for Boynton. Bounces off another tackle and finally drug out of bounds after a massive gain. Javen Boynton.
That's a special running back. Ontario's dropped off, right? They got too high safety look. They're dropped off on second and 15. Say, we're not going to give up a first down. We're not giving up a big play. So the quarterback has to check it down on a little swing pass to the running back. This should only get you 5, 6, 7 yards tops. But Bolton outruns defenders, runs over defenders, and then finishes dragging defenders. So heck of a play by Boynton.
Looks like an unnecessary roughness, though, against Saskatchewan. And so let's bring it back a little ways anyway. Still a first down, but it's not as big of a gain as maybe it once would have been.
Yeah, that's coming way, way back here, but they do get first down.
And from second and 15, even though they really haven't gone anywhere, I think they'll take that.
Yeah, they will, but again, for the defending champs, you want to see some discipline. You can't have penalties hurt your field position. Not in a tight one-score ball game.
Quick little dish off here to Blackburn. Gets around the edge. There's a flag in the backfield for Ontario. So let's see what happens here. Blackburn is awfully close to the first. Actually should have it.
Likely a holding call. I think they might have got one of the receivers. These receivers have to maintain their blocks for a long time on this jet sweep.
It is holding. So bring that one back too. So Saskatchewan was over midfield, and now they've marched themselves back to around their own 25.
Yeah, and again, if you're the defending champs with a bullseye on you, you can't have self-inflicted wounds. Everybody else wants to wound you as it is, so don't inflict any on yourself. Because I'm telling you, Ontario is hanging around. 8 points, that's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They are hanging around here. And the deeper we get into the second half, it's a one-score game, all it takes is one play.
First and 20 as the third quarter draws to an end. That one just overthrown as he went back for more. Haven't seen a lot from Tyrell Moore in the last little bit.
Yeah, he was used early on. He's was featured in the return game, but Saskatchewan will also put Blackburn back there on the return. A little bit different style of a return man and different style of a receiver. Blackburn's that speed guy, right, in space, where say Moore is solid 205 pounds, but I would look for the team in green to feature him a little bit more here in the upcoming quarter.
It should be the last play of the third quarter, of course barring penalties. Look out, Ontario bringing the house. There's Moore. It was just behind him. Broken up by Tharby.
Yeah, Tharby's not bad in coverage at all. He had a pick in the quarterfinal on Sunday, and he's really rangy, right? That's 6'5", just over 200 pounds, and he covers a lot of ground. So Ontario's bringing the house here. They've got pressure on, and I'm telling you, if 57's out of position there, Moore could catch that ball with a lot of green space ahead of him.
Third quarter has come to an end. Not a lot of scoring. 12-4 is the score. A safety conceded by Ontario, and then a missed field goal that led to a rouge for the Ontarians. Has them within 8. So again, like you mentioned, they're hanging around. They're within striking distance. need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but that's just one score.
Yeah, it is. It's like they're right there. It's been a good game, and this is why I was really looking forward to the back half of today's games, because I really think in this top four we're going to have some competitive tilts. Coming up after this, Quebec and Alberta. I love the way both offenses looked on Sunday. I think that one's going to be a heck of a battle. We might see the scoreboard get lit up in that game, right? Where this is more of a defensive struggle. I think the finale tonight might have some fireworks of offensive explosion.
That's very intriguing. And how about the games earlier? Let's give some love to Atlantic Canada. Right. New Brunswick knocking off BC, the 8th seed beating the 5th seed, and Nova Scotia, the 7th seed, took out Manitoba, number 6. So
Atlantic Canada,
that's great.
Showing up. Coach Morris, Chris Morris from the Golden Bears, thought that might be, and again, I'm just quoting Coach Morris, thought that might be the first win for New Brunswick at the Football Canada Cup. So, again, I don't have the stats handy with me. I'm sure somebody will and will let us know, but good for New Brunswick, good for Nova Scotia. Way to show up and be competitive and pull out a couple of wins.
And the thing that does is it sets them up for next year, because they will be the 5 and 6 seeds next year,
right,
and arguably, quote unquote, an easier matchup in the quarterfinal. Give them a shot at a semi. As Ontario will scrimmage here from their own 54, so decent field position for Ontario. Gursey McDonald takes the handoff, and he ran into Zimmer, 34, and got about a yard.
Yeah, Zimmer right in there, and I think he had big number 51 again hanging on his back. Verity kind of, it's almost like he's got a number 51 sweater hanging off of him, like Verity's a big dude. He's had his hands around the running back and walk right in around the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9 for Ontario. It's Castleman at quarterback. He's got a man, nice little cut move there, and it's going to be short of the first down from Stam.
Yeah, Stam cutting it against the grain again. Every time I see receivers on these perimeter screens catch the ball and go back across the grain, I hold my breath a little bit, because they're one missed block away from getting absolutely lit up by scraping defenders. I always say to my receivers, you are a gazelle, stay out of the lion's den. In the middle is the lion's den. You don't want to go back in there.
3rd and 2, the punt team coming on for Ontario. We saw them fake one earlier, late in the first half. Not sure they'll do something similar here, but I suppose you never know. Maybe that plays into it. Maybe they think that the other team doesn't think they're going to do it.
We already did one. We're not possibly going to do another one, are we? Oh, I'd love to see you do it. I would love to. Yeah.
It is just 2 yards. Schmalinski standing back, and it's Moore ready to return. He's standing at his own 5. Schmalinski going for the corner here. And gets a nice little bounce. It will be inside the 20, I believe. Maybe right on the 20.
Yeah, he got a really good bounce again. It's not going to look good on the stats sheet. It's not a deep punt, but there's no return. So again, your defense has been playing really well. So pinning Saskatchewan back at their own 20, that's a long field. So that was the safe play, the conservative play for Ontario. And we'll see if that pays dividends. And I say I would love to see him go for it. Like I said, it's easy being up here wanting to see some more entertaining football, but they probably made a wise decision to punt that ball out of bounds.
Casey will hand it off. Fake it, actually. Had to get it around Thompson and found his man in Blackburn. And got a couple anyway.
Yeah, they turn a possible catastrophe into a positive play, because 97 is just so rangy back there. So top marks to the Saskatchewan quarterback, Carter Casey, to change his arm angle and pull it down and complete that pass. And said Blackburn's pretty shifty. He's fast. He gets a few extra yards.
2nd and 8 here for Team Saskatchewan.
Looks like Ontario's coming.
They've got 7 guys right there. Look out, he gets it out quick, and it's behind the receiver. I think there's haulers for pass interference, but I think the timing there from Smith was pretty good.
Good non-call. Good non-call. There's pressure on 52 linebacker. I really like there Marco Piccioni coming off the edge. He got some pressure on Carter Casey. The throw was behind the intended target, so I'm good with that non-call there. And again, some days I'm a little bit critical of the referees, but I thought the way to keep the flag in the pocket.
Now, to be fair, the gentleman who I saw demonstrating that he wanted that flag, Ethan Kreitz, was the intended receiver. He's wearing a t-shirt with Kreitz number 6 on the back. So I suspect it's a family or friend who really wanted that. We've got a whistle here as the punt came out.
Actually, that's pretty good. He's got his own little section right
Yeah.
here in front of us.
I saw a few of the Saskatchewan players have some t-shirts made up that friends and family are wearing. So
yeah, I
that's
see.
pretty cool.
See Macaulay. No number though on
Procedure against Saskatchewan, so march them back 5 more. And the punt, it's a little bit trickier now for Carter Casey. 8-point game here, and he's kind of lined up right where Ontario conceded a safety. Could you see something similar here, perhaps?
You could, but I don't think you will.
You would be correct as he boots it. Stam fields it, but drops it. And Stam, though, fortunately falls on it. That was close.
Ontario dodges with that muffed punt return. Macaulay, he just called his name. That's Macaulay down there on the coverage. Almost gets that loose ball away from Stam. Stam very fortunate to get back on there. Macaulay is number 40, Matthew Macaulay from Winston.
So, Will Russell and the Ontario offense starting in Saskatchewan's half. That is a live ball. It's a trick play going downfield, but it's picked off by Flat. He's still going. Is Flat? This play is live. Flat making his way down the sideline, absorbs contact, finally goes down. So Ontario had both quarterbacks out. Russell flung it to this near side for Castleman, and he just launched it downfield, but it was kind of a dead duck, and Flat with his second pick of the game.
Yeah, that was the old bounce pass. But, okay,
Flat. I keep saying Flat. It's Flat. Pardon me.
Yeah, Flat gets the second pick of the game. So, and maybe they purposely skip it so that they're hoping the defense just stops, thinks it's an incomplete pass. But it looked like 7 was behind anyways. It would have been a lateral. Yeah. So you're allowed to do that. So, I give him marks for creativity, execution, not there at all.
Skip pass is risky with a football. You never know where it's going to bounce. As a quick hitter is caught. And trying to get away here is number 9, Jared Festus Julian, out of Martinsville, Saskatchewan. His first catch of the game.
Yeah, Festus Julian was on the squad last year as well as an underclassman. Him and Goldstone on defense. That's the first time we've called his name today, and he pays the price for 3.5, 4 yards there.
2nd and 7 here for Team Sask on the Ontario 50.
This Piccioni again in there fishing off that pass.
Casey has 3 to the wide side, 2 to the near side, and Boynton on his right. Casey will pull it down, sees some room, he gets hit. I think he did just enough to duck out of the way of Thompson at the last second.
Yeah, Andre Thompson, again, dropped in coverage. Like, he's a versatile athlete, okay? So I guess I see why they gave him the ball on a fake punt, because, man, this dude's an athlete. He closed down on Casey. Casey's a good athlete. We've seen Casey scrambling with his legs really effectively, but 97, just so rangy, and closes ground quickly.
Ontario able to force a quick 2-and-out here after that little bit of a goofy play that led to the interception. They're going to get the ball back here.
And this was a huge stand by the defense, because Saskatchewan definitely grabbed momentum.
That's high into the Edmonton sky. Stam comes down with it. He's got the edge here. Well, no, he's tracked down, and getting to him is number 45, Liam LaBelle.
Yeah, we've called LaBelle's name a few times today. I thought Stam had the edge too, but these guys in green cover, man, they
Did look promising at the start, but again, quickly closed down. So 1st and 10 from the 26 for Saskatchewan with 7 minutes and 13 seconds left in this fourth quarter. A low-scoring affair, just the one touchdown way back in the opening frame.
Like, I don't know if my eyes are betraying me. Every time I think there could be a flag for no yards. And when I'm on the sidelines, I'm always shocked when they call. I said, no way. They had like 8 yards away.
Time here for Castleman. He's rolling to his right now. He's just going to pull it down. And he ran into one of those LeBoldus Golden Sons. That was LaBelle once again.
Good pickup though on first. Pulls it down, gets 9 yards on that play.
Yeah, looks like that's exactly where they'll put him. It should be 2nd and 1 here. Did do something a little bit tricky here, like a little play action and take a shot. We haven't seen either team really go deep yet.
On 2nd and short, they're probably, well, no, they're going to go under center now and just get it. But I say, like, 2nd and 1, it's that great opportunity to take your shot, right? I wouldn't mind, but you do run the risk a little bit. You can't give up the sack or the negative. And you have to have the guts and the willingness to be able to gamble in your own zone on 3rd down.
Right.
So again, they played conservative, and honestly, probably the right thing to do. But like I say, up here, man, I'm all about the risk when I'm standing up here. If I was on a headset on the sidelines, though, I probably would have done the same.
Ontario breaks the huddle. 5 seconds left on the play clock here. Castleman gets them going. Castleman with some time. Got a man open at Stam. Near midfield, he's going. 40, 45, 30, 35, 20. Is Stam going to go? He is! Touchdown! Ontario! What a play!
Wow, crossing play. Taken to the house. Number 11, Stam. Run, young man, run.
Matthew Stam, a massive play, and Ontario is within 2.
You know, Stam's a little faster than what I originally thought. He turns on the afterburners once he catches this ball and gets going. So breaks a tackle from LaBelle, and he's going to outrun. Now 16 gets a nice little, I love that, the little non-contact block from 16 playing it smart. Avinga, well, after that one play in the first quarter,
yep.
I love what
100%.
Avinga's bringing. I love it. And we're going to see a 2-point conversion for the tie.
Only 5:19 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's a good time to do it. Either you tie the game or you know, hey, we're only down by a couple and we need to get another score anyway.
And you got a kicker that's going to call field goals. So right choice to go for 2 here.
Castleman. Look out. Couldn't get him down. Goldstone, he's rolling out, throws to the end zone. Was that caught or did it skip? No, it skipped on the way, but there's a flag back here, and I wonder if Castleman was hit.
Yeah, I believe he was. I think Goldstone made contact after the ball was released. This is a tough call. This is a bit of a ticky-tack call here. In real time, like it's tough. These defenders are coming as fast as they possibly can. LaBelle gets the original pressure but loses contain. Great job by Castleman. Ooh, we might have 64. I'm surprised 64 didn't get called for that crackback block.
Caden Roop.
Yeah, like
that's your guy.
Roop is he's a mean boy. I like Roop, but Roop got away with one. He was coming back towards his own goal line when he made contact to try to spring his quarterback free. So Ontario gets away with one. Saskatchewan doesn't.
Roughing the passer is the call.
Yeah, on Goldstone, and from what I've seen, Goldstone is just a tough as snot linebacker, not a dirty player by any means. He's as tough as it gets out there. So a little bit unfortunate because he's had just an incredible tournament.
This is Havinga, who's a little bit slow to get up here. Walking off cautiously.
Yeah, what I don't like is Ontario's already broken huddle. They're lining up in their 2x3 spread. Now the defense knows what your alignment is.
And Avinga's got a long way to go to get off the field here yet. So
Avinga's got 40 yards to get off the field, and he's not moving very fast. If we set a watch to him, I'm not sure he's going to get there in 60 seconds. He's not moving quickly. He's hurt. Get back in the huddle, Ontario.
Hopefully nothing serious here for Havinga, but as mentioned, it's a bit ginger at the moment here for 16.
It tells you the enormity of the play.
Sure.
When Ontario's broken huddle and they're ready to go.
Excited.
Right, they're excited. This is a huge play.
Castleman fakes the handoff, rolls out, he's in easily. 2-point convert, Ontario's tied it.
That's greasy. I'm going to diagram this one. I love it. Oh, what a bootleg. Naked boot with a 2-point score.
We are tied at 12. Here it is again.
So I love that little jet motion, the little fake to the running back, 22 and 7 boots, because Saskatchewan's an aggressive defense. So Ontario used that aggressiveness against them. So they knew that they were going to come hard flying down the line of scrimmage, and that's just a real great play call. Top marks and credit to the Ontario coaching staff for having that play ready to go when they needed it most in a 2-point situation.
I believe it was Adam Woods, too, who had the block, the long hair there of Woods. He is out of Westmount in Hamilton, who really sealed the edge and allowed the quarterback to just walk in.
Good eyes. That was fantastic.
So we're tied at 12. Saskatchewan's going to get the ball. Here's Moore. Fields it inside his own 15. Moore busting up the middle is going to get to about the 28 here. And so all of the momentum is with Team Ontario. Saskatchewan really only had the one touchdown. It was early on in the game, and the field goal as well, and then a safety that Ontario gave them. So,
and Ontario has missed out on more plays that have been there to be had. Where, we talked. Saskatchewan did take a couple penalties, right? That hurt themselves in the field position. So it hasn't been a real polished game in terms of penalties and discipline by the defending champs. But we'll see what they got with 5 minutes left in the game.
Game's in the balance. Carter Casey slings it out to Boynton. Can he shake off the tackle? No, he can't. Brought down brilliantly by Piccioni.
Hey, he's a tackling machine. Tackling machine. I don't have his stats with me for number of tackles, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's leading this Ontario defense in tackles. And 97 he's having when he's out there as well. Thompson. Those two have really popped on the Ontario defense.
3 yards for Saskatchewan. Sets up 2nd and 7. The Ontario fans are making some noise now here at Foote Field. There's definitely a belief now in the Ontario side. Casey over the middle, a little bit of a stumble there from the receiver. Number 5 is Ty Fedek Andrews.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped a little bit going out of his break on the curl route, and the snap was a little bit low to the left. So I don't think Casey got his feet set the way he would have hoped, that he was a little bit wide on the mark with that.
Big opportunity now for Ontario as they are set to receive the punt. Remember, we've seen that Chmielewski has a leg on him, so it wouldn't take them a ton to get into a range where he could potentially hit a field goal to go ahead.
If I'm Ontario, I'm getting after it right here. I'm bringing some pressure.
Oh, almost blocked there as Montour tried to get there. Stam fields it, and great coverage downfield by Saskatchewan. Number 38, Jake Reach, and number 40, Matthew McCauley were in there.
And there is a flag down. Oftentimes in the area holding on the return.
And there wasn't much of a return to begin with.
So they're going to have to go an extra 10 yards to get into field goal range.
Yeah, the gain on the punt return, was almost 0, maybe a couple, and take them back 10 more. So Saskatchewan actually probably has to feel pretty good about themselves right now. They've given themselves a shot to get the ball back here, and some space to play with as well.
What's the old adage football cliche, defense?
Yes.
So let's see if you're a fan of Saskatchewan, if defense can at least get you to another championship.
Handoff, Guersy McDonald cuts it back up the middle. Ran into one of those Golden Suns helmets.
Is there only 2 of them out there? Because
Yes,
I
there
feel like
are.
there's 8 of them.
No, just 44 Goldstone and 45 LaBelle. They're just always around the ball.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
We'd love to watch those guys in the fall.
Second and 7 now for Ontario, as this thing really has turned into a grinding type of defensive struggle. Castleman takes the snap. Does give it off to Guersy McDonald. Barging his way forward. He gets to the 45. Needed about the 48 though. So it'll be 3 yards short. And Saskatchewan will get the ball back here as we reach the 3-minute warning.
Yeah, very easy for me to second guess up here, but I'm a little surprised with that play call, just to run the ball conservatively on 2nd and long, and maybe again it's a bit of a conservative approach from Ontario, but having that belief in your defense. The Ontario defense has been closing the door on the Saskatchewan offense. So I guess to punt the ball away, play for field position here with under 3 minutes to go now in the game.
Schmalinski, that one's a high one in the sky. Taken down by Blackburn. Nowhere to go. Just over the 45, give him the 46. And that's where Saskatchewan will start this drive.
Yeah, 54 Callum Green in there on the coverage teams. And that's another one. Like I'm glad to not see a flag thrown there, but I thought that was again getting dangerously close to that 5-yard halo. I just hope in the fall in Alberta they call it like this. I kind of like this, yeah.
A little bit more generous.
That's right. Giving the coverage teams the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I like that.
So Saskatchewan in possession here. Again, under 3 minutes now. Tie game at 12. There's a connection to Moore, and he is going. Moore's got the first down and a little bit more into Ontario territory over the 50.
Yeah, 205 pounds lowers the boom there on the contact. Just because he's a receiver does not mean that he can't be the hammer.
The legs for me, holy smokes, look at those quads at 17, 18 years old.
It's impressive. He's got that lower body, and he becomes the hammer. The DB is the nail.
So fresh set of downs here for Saskatchewan. Some clouds starting to roll in a little bit here. Again, threat of rain in the area. Slung out to the wide side. Moore is tackled immediately. Great play there by Thompson Silcox out of London.
Yeah, Silcox closes down in a hurry into the flats. And to me, like that's a big throw. And I thought that ball is just a little bit late coming out. You know, just that quarter of a second late coming out on such a big throw into the wide flats to the field, and that gives the defensive back room to close down on that.
He gave him maybe a football's worth of a gain there. Still 2nd and 10 for Saskatchewan.
Ontario's lined up along the line of scrimmage. They're mugging it up, and here they come.
Quickly out to Moore. Can he escape this tackle? He's dragging a man close to a first down. Tyrell Moore.
And that's what champions are made of, plays like that. Savvy play by the quarterback. Ontario got everybody down around the line of scrimmage. I call it mugging up. We're all on that line of scrimmage. So what's an effective play to run against that? Well, a quick crossing route, because there's no linebackers dropped back there. So he hits his 205-pound receiver Moore, who drags the defender to move the sticks. Great play by Saskatchewan.
With Schoenecker, he carried 3 or 4 extra yards on his back. First down, Saskatchewan. Clock continuing to run here. There's a guy over the middle, and I'm not sure he would have survived that contact with the ball, as it was Kreitz who got hit. Ball a little bit high, I think.
Yeah, he's going to look down at his family here wearing his jersey. That's not for the faint of heart.
And he was open, and Schoenecker wanted to make up for that last play.
Yeah. Schoenecker saying, "Hey man, I don't get dragged. I'm a little more stout defensively than this," and And he held up. He could have ended Wrights there.
Casey, Blackburn's got it. Little bit short of the first, but this is going to be interesting, I think, for decision making. It's going to be 3rd and 2.5.
Well, from what I've seen from the Saskatchewan field goal team is this looks like it's right at the edge of the range.
36 yards?
Yeah.
Is this one that you try to intentionally hit maybe a little bit harder, hoping that if you miss, you put it out the back?
Yeah, hit it as hard as you can. If you miss, you get the lead. In Canada, we win on a single. We don't care.
Chase Smith is back in the end zone. This one is up, and it is through. What a kick! Brilliant field goal from Carter Casey right down the middle.
He's clutch. He's clutch. Like I said, not even close to the edge of his range. That's he had room to spare right there. Nice kick, Carter Casey.
15-12. Yes,
player.
everything.
Wow.
Saskatchewan in front with 81 seconds to play. We know it won't take much for Ontario to get into field goal range. We've seen Chmielinski.
Yeah,
he's got about 50 yards of leg for sure.
He does. He does. Well, we're in for an entertaining minute and 20 seconds here for the finish.
3 down football for sure now for Ontario. And they have Will Russell out there as quarterback. Saskatchewan fans urging their defense. Quickly over the middle, it's Havinga. Great to see 16 back out there. And he gets sandwiched. Going to be close to a first down here. Needed the 45. Got to the 44, I think.
And there's old 58 there, Adam Woods again, moving the pile, coming in there to try to get the ball carrier up closer to that first down line. Love to see that effort from the big boys pushing down the field. This 34 had a good stick there, Zimmer. He's another good linebacker.
2nd and 1. Ontario, I think, are going to go for it a little bit further here, but the pass is short. Intended receiver there was Jakeem Irons. Again, we haven't said Irons' name a ton yet, and that pass was well short.
Yeah, and honestly, with the physique and the size that Irons has, you know, he's one of those players, he's passing the eyeball test. I almost wonder if they couldn't move him in a slot or something to utilize that size a little more in this offense. But biggest play of the game right here.
Ontario needs the full yard. They have to get to the 45. Castleman will come up under center. Oh, he got a late burst, but I think he just got the football there. It was close.
That's close.
But he should have got there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was late getting going, though.
He was. And I think that was the problem earlier on when we said we saw that red line get a really good surge, but the quarterback only got less than a yard in the first half. I think he's a little bit late getting going on that push.
Under a minute now. Castleman looks back at the play clock. Sends his receivers in motion. Castleman stepping up, pocket collapsing. He takes off. Got him by the jersey. That's number 51, Lucian Verity once again.
Yeah, Verity's been a huge presence inside. And the equipment manager for Ontario, I think needs to put those jerseys in the dryer, shrink those up a little bit. There's no way you want your ball carriers getting grabbed by the back of the jersey and getting dragged down.
Reminder to fans to stay.
Shrink those up.
I think there's a timeout taken by Ontario here, as it's going to be 2nd and 6. So Castleman did get a few yards to move them a little bit.
Goldstone, they attempted to chop Goldstone again on that blitz. They got him right in and around the knee area, and that's just something as a coach, you know, I take exception to where they put in the rules now. We're told, you know, contact point has to be between hip and above the knee, and it's rarely called. You know, they called it once this game, and we've seen it happen several more times. And from a coaching standpoint, I just wish there was more consistency. You put the rule in, now enforce it.
So here we go, 2nd and 6. Castleman looking near side, and oh, I thought he had it for a second there. Did Montour come down with it?
They're saying it bounced.
They're having a discussion here. I think they say he caught it.
Oh, they're giving it to him.
They did give it to him.
Nope,
now they've taken it away. So they A little bit confusing there from the official who was there. He had his foot down marking the spot, but then he immediately waved it off. It rolls out at the end, and I'm not sure if he was already down by contact. That's tough.
They're saying the ball needs to survive the round.
3rd and 6 now. This is the ball game for Ontario. And the throw is going to be short. Saskatchewan is going to survive. Ontario gave him a run. You're frustrated with that throw.
Yeah.
Or the play, maybe.
Yeah, I really am. And again, I just think it's a moment of big-time hype, and it looked like the quarterback just got a little overextended in his bottom half, and the ball darted down a little bit. He turfed it, underthrew it, but for 13, I know he feels sick because I thought he came up with that catch, right?
Yeah.
It would almost look like that second motion where the ball came out, and unfortunate. The refs don't have the replay down there.
This is Blackburn just going around the edge. Ontario still has a timeout, I believe. So that's why Saskatchewan's not just kneeling this thing out.
And it looks like another hold. Trying to get.
There looked like there were a couple.
Yeah, they're trying to get the edge to Blackburn on that hot pass jet sweep. And again, those are long blocks for those receivers on the field side to have to maintain. Very, very easy to get a holding call on that.
Looks like Ontario's going to decline it. So 2nd and looks like it's going to be about 7, maybe 6.
They call their timeout, so the clock will not start until the ball is snapped.
There's a look at Trey Montour. He's just upset. I'm not sure at himself, maybe at the officials. He just wishes he had another crack at that, I think.
Yeah, he does. And I'm sure he feels like he made that catch. The thing of it is that the referees want to see possession maintained through a football match.
Let's look at it one more time.
Yeah, it comes out.
It does. Like, he catches it initially, and I'm not sure that he's touched or down.
Yeah.
And as he gets up, it comes out.
Yeah, they're going to want to see full control there. That's a bit of a bang play where, and if we slowed that down even more, the more and more it will look like a catch.
Yeah.
But in real time, I can't fault the officials.
Yeah, there's no review or replay. They just get one look in live speed. That one's handed off, and just falling forward there, number 33 is Owen Mazer.
Good in the action there, down around the line of scrimmage for the tackle. So 3rd down, there's still a hope, but this is the beauty of Canadian football. If there's people watching that don't normally watch Canadian football, this is why Canadian football is so exciting. The final 3 minutes you can see 3 scores.
Yep. Oh yeah, easily.
In the final 3 minutes of the game. It's hard to just run a clock out in Canadian football.
The old CFL tagline, no lead is safe.
It's true.
So Saskatchewan will punt this one away. This is Smith. It goes out of bounds. Smith was waiting for it, of course. Didn't quite get to him. So 23 seconds for Ontario. And they are going to scrimmage from the referee walking up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, they got a long ways to go, but keep in mind they have a kicker who looks fully capable of being able to hit 50 yards. So if you're saying, Ontario to get a realistic shot, it's got to get within the 45-yard line. That's I'm not a math guy. You're looking at that 35 to 40 yards.
Yeah.
You likely have 2 or 3 plays to do.
Castleman, look out. Here's the sack. Wrapping him up, number 77, Hayden Russell from Yorkton.
6'4", 260. And that orange helmet just stands up.
It does.
And they build them tough in Yorkton.
17 seconds left. That was a loss of quite a bit.
Clock is going.
Clock is running. It was a loss of about 10 there. Castleman, he's got to heave this thing up, I think. Looking for someone, and it's a little bit short. 5 seconds left, so there is still time for a play, but this is going to have to turn into some laterals, or we'll get all sorts of goofiness happening. Or penalty, of course.
Yeah, no, I think bring on the goofiness. That's what you're looking for, right? It's time to play some rugby right now. Maybe get the ball out there on a hitch screen, a bit of a hook and ladder. You got everybody behind you. Maybe give it a punt. Of course, I say all this stuff. I don't know if they practice this. I have no idea.
It's tough with these all-star teams to do stuff like that.
You got limited time. I know even in the high school game, it's not until down the stretch to play off official time where we start putting more of the emphasis on this sort of moment.
So here we go. And a flag came out late. I wonder if they took too long. They did. Time clock violation, so Ontario will march back 5 more yards.
So one play with the entire length of the field to go.
Here's the thing, if it happens though, this will go everywhere.
Yeah.
This will be viral.
This will be the greatest moment in this tournament's history, if they
Quite
are
possibly.
to pull this off. Let's brace for it. We don't know what we're in for.
I'm fired up. Let's go. Castleman, receivers in motion. Has a look, gets it out, and it's dropped. So that'll do it. Saskatchewan survive. 15-12, the defending champs are gonna go for another title. Ontario, boy, they put up a heck of a fight. And just unfortunately for them, come up a hair short at the end of the day.
Well, the champs are still the champs, at least for another half a week.
Yep.
They dodged a couple of bullets. They overcame some adversity, and you know what? To put the positive spin on this, if you're a coach for Saskatchewan, you got a lot of positives to take away from this game. Say, hey man, we got pushed. We got pushed really hard. We had adversity in this game, and we had to claw and fight. And wow, back in the gold medal game.
And they came up with a good clutch drive late to get themselves into field goal range.
They did. So players of the game, tough call for the losing team, the losing side, Ontario. I thought 52 and 97 were the two standouts. I don't think you could go wrong picking
Piccioni or Thompson.
Yeah, I don't think you go wrong with either one of those. And offensively, that's another tough call. Do you go Stam?
Yeah, there were some options. He was the one who obviously had the touchdown. I think that kind of gives him the leg up in that category. On Saskatchewan side, defensive players, I mean, you could grab one of those LeBoldus Golden Sons and give them the award, but there were a couple of guys. Obviously, Liam Platt had 2 picks.
Yeah.
That's a big part of this game as well.
I feel like Goldstone's the type of guy you might want to give it to him every game.
Sure.
But Platt came up huge with those 2 picks. So if ever you're not going to give it to Goldstone, maybe today's the day you could give it to somebody else like Platt. And offensively, you know, and again, it's probably give it to him every game. He got it on Sunday, Carter Casey, quarterback. Wouldn't be a bad pick, but I also like that running back.
And hit the field goal too, right?
Yeah, he did, clutch the field goal. But Boynton, to me, is just such a force at running back.
Fortunately for us, we don't have to make those tough decisions. That's up to someone else. So we'll hang around here. Saskatchewan fans applauding their squad. I think breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief as they get ready for another gold medal game. And who will they face? It will either be Alberta or Quebec. And this one is going to be, I think, very intriguing between these two provinces.
Yeah, I'm anticipating a one-score game when all is said and done. I think it's going to come down to the wire.
We will commence the presentation of the most valuable offensive and most valuable defensive.
So they are getting ready for these presentations here. As you can see, kind of the teams warming up behind them, getting ready for the next game.
Presenting these awards today is Mr. Jim Mullen, President of Football Canada.
Jim Mullen, President of Football Canada, will present the awards.
Valuable defensive player of the game, For Ontario is number 52, Marco
Piccioni, as predicted by Chad Hill, the defensive player of the game for Team Ontario.
Yeah, there's a lot to like with this young man's game.
It's the photographs. Stings now, but he'll look back at that and be like, you know what, this was an absolute blast, and look at how well I did.
Offensive Player of the Game award for Ontario.
Offensive Player of the Game for Ontario.
11, Matthew
Stam. I think that's a pretty good choice. Had that impressive touchdown.
Sure did. Turned on the Jets.
Big shout out to Stam.
He's got that good looking white
And
lid.
now the winner
Yep,
of the
yep.
most valuable defensive
So now
player
defense
of
for
the game
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan is number 22.
It is 22. It is Liam Platt, the Miller Marauder from Regina.
Yeah, multiple interceptions in a semifinal Canada Cup game. Well deserving.
Now for the offensive player of the game.
Offensive Player of the Game award for Saskatchewan, number 87, Terrell Moore.
They gave it to Terrell Moore. He did have the touchdown for Saskatchewan. It's not a bad choice either.
No, I can't argue this one either. I like this guy's game. He's 205 pounds, and he uses that 205 pounds. He looks like another running back out there in the receiving corps.
L'Orange product. It's about an hour and a half north of Prince Albert, so you're looking at around 3 hours north of Saskatoon. But that's where he plays. High school is in Saskatoon. So Saskatchewan moving on to the gold medal game. Ontario will play for bronze. Those games are on Saturday. So Ontarians, if you're watching, that'll be at 4 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Eastern. Saskatchewan, the gold medal game is at 7 o'clock your time. Well, we've got about 50 minutes before the next one, Alberta and Quebec in the nightcap. That should be a dandy as well. And we hope you'll join us on behalf of our entire crew here at Foote Field and my awesome color commentator, Chad Hill. My name is Grayson Knutson. Thank you so much for watching the 2023 Football Canada Cup, a presentation of Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live.